Are you looking into digitalizing your Dungeons and Dragons game? Are you one of those players that always brings their laptop or their smartphone or their iPad or their tablet or their freaking desktop computer to your Dungeons and Dragons game, and do you like keeping track of your character on a digital screen instead of on a piece of paper? Well, there is this new app in town called the Reroll app, and I just want to talk to you guys about why I think it's a pretty cool little app. And I actually started using a app for freaking Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, me, a guy who has been pencil and paper for his entire Dungeons and Dragons career, switched to an app. Congratulations, Reroll, because nobody was ever able to do that. So first things first, if you decide during this video or at the end of this video or right now to ever buy the Reroll app, go to the digital store on your device and actually download the Reroll app, well, make sure to use my personal promo code called TRSQ. Yeah, like in big fat bold letters, use TRSQ and you will get a 10% discount on the Reroll app. So if you buy $1,000 worth of Reroll apps, you get $100 discount, which is a lot of money discount for you guys, from me to you. So make sure to use TRSQ if you download the app. If you don't, well, don't use the discount code. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, here's a review. By the way, if you've been on my channel and you've been watching some of my videos, or this is the first video you watch and you just like me so much, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button, the little bell button next to it. It helps a small YouTuber like myself out a lot. Actually, as a matter of fact, I've enabled emails where every time a new subscriber comes in, this is no joke, every time a new subscriber comes in, I get an email saying, blah blah blah, subscribe to your channel. And every time that happens, and it happened more than 3,700 times right now, every time that happens I get a pop-up on my phone saying somebody subscribed to my channel, and every time I feel so amazing. And I mean, it feels like I'm at work and I see this email and I'm like, I get like this little shoulder tap, like, you're doing good, Mr. T. People actually love what you're doing and just keep at it, and that feeling is just great. So if you want to give me that feeling today, tomorrow, whenever you're watching this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Or unsubscribe and subscribe again, it's also fine. And hit the little bell button, helps me out a ton. So what is the Reroll app? Well, the Reroll app is a little app you put on your phone, like your Apple device or your Android device, and you have like a small little app that keeps track of everything your character can do, like your hit points, your temporary hit points, your skills, your abilities, your gear, everything that is on a character sheet they have digitalized into a little app. I hear you thinking on the other side of that screen, but hey, Mr. T, aren't there like a million apps that already do that? And yes, I agree. There are a gazillion. There are a Googleplex amount of apps already out there that already do that. But I, myself, am a old school Dungeons and Dragons player. I am a pencil and paper kind of guy. I admit that. That's just the way I have always wanted to play the game from the moment I was 15 years old up until now, at the old age of 32. I like pencil and paper. The thing is, I've tried a lot of apps, and I'm not gonna call any names because I just don't want to do that, but I tried a lot of those apps that keep track of your character, and every time I start one of those apps, I fill everything in and I play 1 or 2 sessions with that app, I always find them a chore in a way. And the thing is, I'm one of those old school kind of people that if I have to press a button on my phone once too many, I will throw my freaking phone against the wall out of frustration. That's the kind of guy I am. I like technology, but I like technology to be an extension of what I'm doing. I don't want technology to be the thing that I'm doing. I'm a big chess player, as you can see, there's like a chess pawn on my phone. I'm a big chess player. I mean, I use my phone to play chess. But if the chess playing app would have me like touch like a gazillion buttons to move a piece, I wouldn't play chess on my phone. I would play chess on the board, which I also still do. Anyway, I am one of those people that I just want it to be easygoing, I want it to be fun, I want it to be an extension of what I'm doing, so I want to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to have a character sheet in front of me. Either that being on paper or being digital. And I agree now, since I use a reroll app, I totally agree that having a digital character sheet can be so much fun, and it can be so clean, because if you see my character sheets after like 5 sessions into a game, into a campaign, my character sheet is a complete mess and I don't even know anymore how much gold I have and stuff like that. So with a app like this, it's very good for me, and it's very cool for me to use that in a game, because it's so easy to use, and it has this little gimmick. Some call it a gimmick, but it is a gimmick. It is kind of a little gimmick this reroll app has, and it just makes the app more fun. And that's why I kind of fell in love with it, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So if you know me, if you've been watching my channel a long time, you know that 90% of the games I play in, actually I am the dungeon master of. So I have a small issue. I had a small issue. I was just sitting there behind my computer, minding my own business, and a message popped up from the reroll people. The people from the reroll app, which I'm calling the reroll people, because I think it sounds very cool. So the reroll people, they messaged me, asking me if I wanted to check out their app, and if I wanted to maybe consider reviewing it or featuring it on my channel. And I, of course, thought it was a pretty good idea. I mean, a free app is always a good idea. You can always try it out. I tried like 1,000 of them, and they were all no good for me, but maybe this one is for me, who knows. So I said yes, but I had a problem. I, at that point, had no games. Well, I had one game where I was the player. So I started fiddling around with the app, and I started creating characters, I started leveling them up, and I very soon realized that it was just a very easy to use app for a person like me, a old school Dungeons and Dragons player, had an easy time using this app. So if an old school Dungeons and Dragons player has an easy time using an app, then everybody has an easy time using that app. Anyway, I still felt that I wasn't ready to review it on my channel, because I am a dungeon master 90% of the time and not a player. So I asked the reroll people for a bunch of beta codes, because the reroll app was still in beta phase right then. I asked them for a bunch of beta codes, and they sent me like, I don't know, 7 or 8 of them, something like that. And I asked them because I sent them out to a lot of players, like to people I personally know and I know play Dungeons and Dragons. Some play in party with me, some play in other parties, and just said, here's a beta code. After the app launches, you can keep using it. It's free. The app is free for you. Just use it. The only catch is you have to tell me what you think. And of the 7 or 8 people that actually got the beta code, I think 4 or 5 are still using it right now, which is a great number if you consider that they all are digital players and they already have their app they use at the table for their characters. So they are, you get a hard time to get them away from their favorite apps, and well, the reroll app actually managed to get some people away from their favorite apps, which for me is a good sign. So I was thinking, I was sitting there using the app, and I actually played with it on a table a few games, because I had a few one-shots where I was the player. I had a few games here, a few games there where I was a player. So I just started using the app, and I just love it. And the reason why I love it, the #1 reason why I love it, has to be the main gimmick of the reroll app. I'm calling it a gimmick. I don't want to be unrespectful to the app, but it feels like a gimmick, but not in a bad way, right? Anyway, there is pixel art. You can create your own character using pixel art. There is just, you get like this dude, and you can choose your human form, or like a dragonborn form, or lizard folk form, or female, male, or I should say feminine or masculine. You can choose whatever, and you can put like all kinds of pieces of gear on them. You can like make a wizard with chainmail and a wizard hat and a staff, stuff like that. You can create your own character, like a pink beard with a red hat and like a cape that's made out of wolf fur and stuff like that. You can just create your own character using pixel art, and that's the main thing this app has against other apps. I mean, it's just so small. It just seems so small and dumb. But when I start my app on my phone, I just see all my characters, right? And I just see them in pixel art form, like and it feels like a retro game, and it feels like you're starting up one of those old school, I don't know, MMORPGs or something. You just have your characters, you select the right character, and bam, it's all there. You're ready to play. Your armor class is there, your spells are there, your skills are there, everything is there. And that's what I love about the Reroll app. Well, that's one thing I love about the Reroll app. And the thing is, the Reroll app has just been released. So the good news is that there are a lot of chest plates and shoes and hats and everything in the app. There's a lot of that. You can customize. There's like an infinite amount of combinations you can make to create your own character, but they are still adding on it. They added pets. You can select a little pet like a cat or a dog or whatever, and you can drag it to your character, and there it is. There is a pet next to your character, like a familiar or a pet for your ranger or whatever. And there's like so many options, maybe even too many options for some people, but there's so many options. You can create so many cool characters, and I just like the simplicity of the pixel art, and that's why I kind of fell in love with the Reroll app, because I have my selection of characters with their pets, with their weird combinations of armor, weird colors, and I just love that. Now, a few other upsides of the Reroll app versus some other apps. First of all, there's its usability. I already said that. There's just not a lot of buttons in this app, so you know which button to push. I mean, sometimes you just can't explain why some things are easier to use than other things. For me, for example, I think iPhones are way overpriced, right? But still, when I use an iPhone, I think it's the most easy to use thing they've ever built. For some reason, I don't know why. It's just responsive. There's just something about it why I just think, wow, this is easy. Wow, it just goes, oh, okay, I just have to press this and this instead of this and this to do the same thing. Something like that. And I just can't really put my finger on it. It's just a user experience, and while the Reroll app does that very well, you just create your character, you put in a name, put in the race, put in masculine, feminine, whatever you want to do, and you start creating and you start filling in your ability scores, your skills, and it does everything you'd expect from a character sheet app. It's actually just a character sheet digitalized. What doesn't it do? Well, it actually doesn't want to replace the game for you, so you still need to use physical dice to roll. So it's not one of those apps where you press the screen and it on like the right, like in Roll20 for example, when you press insight, it automatically makes an insight roll for you. This app does not do that, which is okay for me. That's perfect. I mean, I want to roll my dice. I just want a character sheet. I already said that, I know. So that's the usability is amazing. There is this pixel art, there's stuff like that, and there's another thing, which I think is great. I mean, I have an iPhone 7, right? Which is right now one of the older iPhones, but I have an iPhone 7. I can run the app fine on my iPhone 7, no problem. But I also have, yes, I do have an iPad first generation. I do. I have a first generation iPad I still use, and I use it to play chess. But now I also use it for Reroll. And the thing is, the first generation iPad, it cannot run the Reroll app. There is a web browser based version of the Reroll app. If you go to the website, link is in the description below. If you go to their website and you see, you click it, you can click a little button that says something in the sense of start on web or something, get started on web, and you just have the same kind of app you'd have on your phone or on your tablet, and as long as you have Wi-Fi or like cable internet, if you still have that, as long as you have internet on that device, you can actually use a Reroll app browser based, and I like that a lot. And yeah, at first I thought the web based version was going to be something like, who the hell ever uses that? If you have it on your phone, why would you use the web based version? Well, first of all, I use it on my iPad, which is an old piece of crap. But I also use it when I play on Discord with a bunch of people. I play a Dungeons and Dragons game, and I just have the reroll app in a browser open on the same computer, sometimes on a second screen. So I don't always have to fiddle with my phone, because I just think it's not fun for people when I am playing a webcam based game, and I'm staring into the webcam and talking to people like this in the webcam, and then I'm constantly like like this, you know, talking like this, which is just not fun for people. And I just think if I'm sitting behind a computer and I use the browser thing, I'm still, you know, some way connected to those people in a way, and I'm watching the same screen. So I actually use the browser version. I just use it. And times I don't want to fiddle with my phone. Also the battery on my phone, I don't want it to go dead, because when I'm playing Dungeons & Dragons somewhere else, I want my girlfriend to be able to call me when something happens to my child and stuff like that. This is getting way too personal. Anyway, I like that they have a web-based version. I like the app, I like the pixel art, and I actually started using a app for freaking Dungeons & Dragons. Yes, me, a guy who has been pencil and paper for his entire Dungeons & Dragons career, switched to an app. Congratulations, Reroll, because nobody was ever able to do that. Sometimes I just play a character that I haven't been playing for like 3 or 4 months sometimes, and I just want something. When I open the app, I can just open it, and I have everything in there. All my notes, everything are in there, and I don't have to look for my character sheet. And sometimes I find like 1 page of my character sheet, and then my spell sheet is completely gone, and I don't know where it is. So with an app like that, you have everything in one app, which is great, and it might maybe just get you over the fence of using digital stuff. So yeah, if you decide to download it, if you decide to buy it, make sure to use promo code TRSQ, because you will get 10% off when you buy it. And other than that, I hope you have fun with it, and I hope your inspiration may guide you.